A very good evening to Miss Fakria and my dear friends. First of all, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Revati Subramaniam, matrix number B10871.
Hi, good evening. My name is Aglia Velasamy. My metric number is B10868.
Hi, my name is Vishalini Segar and my metric number is B10872.
Hi, my name is Geetanji Nagendran. My metric number B10866.
So today we are connected in the Zoom meeting to discuss and exchange information on the themes and issues raised in short story 2. So before we start our discussion, we would like to apologize to Miss Fakria as we have made a mistake in our group meeting 1. We have wrongly mentioned the title of our short story 2. So we would like to recorrect it. The actual title we chosen now is The Lottery by Shirley Jackson.
Thank you, Revati. So the lottery first published in the New York on June 26 of 1948. The lottery is considered one of the most haunting and shocking short story of the modern American fiction, and it's one of the most frequently anthologized. And the story takes place on a June morning in town square of a small village. And me and my teammates want to explain about the theme of the lottery short story. And I begin with the theme, which is the juxtapositions of the peace and violence. The lottery begins with the description of a particular day, the 27th of the June, which is marked by beautiful details and warm tone that strongly contrasts with the violent and dark ending of the story. So the narrator describes full of flowers blossoming and the children playing, but the details also include foreshadowing of the story resolution. As the children are collecting stones and three boys guard their pile against the raids of the other boys, these details introduce the language of the warfare and violence into the otherwise idyllic scene. This technique models a theme will be used through the story, the justa portions of peace and violence, and concentrating ordinary life with unusual and cruel tradition of the lottery. In the first part of the story, Jackson showed that villagers seem to be reasonable, regular people concerned with the everyday necessities of life, the weather, farming, and the taxes. And this characteristic then contrasts sharply with the violence theme, and this same ordinary men and women are capable of that end of the story. So the position is shows that complexity of the human nature, which can be both kind and cruel, and perhaps Jackson is also implying that ordinary behavior and murderous behavior are not inherently contrast. And in the lottery, the characters are able to excuse and normalize their violence by restricting to the content of the lottery and by explaining the lottery as an ordinary, so necessary tradition. So through the chilling juxtaposition of peace and violence, Jackson reminds us the evil is not necessary an outside force, and also it's a part human nature, and the potential for the violence lurks beneath even more most normal seemingly harmless behavior. That's all from me. Thank you.
So, the second theme of the story is human nature. Jackson examines the basic of human nature in the lottery, asking whether or not all humans are capable of violence and cruelty, and exploring how those natural inclinations can be masked, directed, or emphasized by the structure of society. Philosophers throughout the ages have similarly questioned the basic structure of human character. Are humans fundamentally good or evil? With our rules and laws, how would we act towards one another? Are we similar to animals in our basic selfish needs, or do we possess unusual rationality or unusual cruelty that sets us apart from the rest of the natural world? The lottery asks these same questions through its depiction of an ordinary town that is capable of unusual violence. Numerous details in the text establish the fundamental normality of this unnamed town, which is intentionally designed to seem timeless and universal. Because this town could exist in so many different places and time periods, Jackson is drawing the reader's attention to the universality of the ideas she examines. If this type of violence could happen anywhere, as Jackson suggests, then it must be due to some innate aspect of human character. With the brutal ending of a story, Jackson argues that humans are self-serving and capable of great cruelty as long as they think their actions won't have repercussions that harm them directly. In the town, no one speaks out against the lottery before a name is drawn. Tessie Hutchinson finally protests when she is singled out, saying it isn't fair, it isn't right, but this objection is raised too late. The other villagers are clearly relieved not to have been selected, and they speak from a position of security, reminding Tessie that all of us took the same chance. Though the villagers have lost or discarded certain aspects of the ritual of the lottery over time, they still remember to us stones, implying that the central murderous act of the lottery is unforgettable human tradition. Even Davy Hutchinson, a child, is given stones to throw at his mother, and other young children gather the stones for the ritual. The prevalence of violence in children, Jackson suggests, in even more conclusive proof that violence and cruelty is an inherent part of human nature. That's all from me. Thank you.
Today I'm going to talk about theme, family structure and gender roles. The ritual of the lottery itself is organized around the family unit. As in the first round, one member of a family selected a folded square of paper. The members of the family with marked slip of paper must then each select another piece of paper to see the individual singled out within the family. This process reforms the importance of the family structure within the town and the same time creates a hierarchy within the structure, and one of the emphasize the importance of gender roles. In my personal opinion, family structure affected the gender roles, especially girls only must do more housework than boys. These are culturally influenced stereotypes which creates expectations for males and females. So we all must change this thing and accept all are same and no gender roles. Thank you.
The fourth theme of this short story is the power of tradition. The villagers in the story perform the lottery every year primarily because they always have. It's just the way things are done. This discussion of this traditional practice and the suggestion in the story that other villages are breaking from it by disbanding the lottery demonstrates the persuasive power of ritual and tradition for humans. The lottery in itself is clearly pointless. An individual is killed after being randomly selected. Even the original ritual has been forgotten, and the first black box is long gone. So the lottery no longer seems like a religious ceremony made significant by sacred objects. Now that these significant objects have vanished, the lottery is upheld simply because of the villagers' belief in tradition, not a belief in any higher power. The villagers do not appear to believe that the choice of the marked slip of paper is fated, ordained, or spiritual in any way. No benefit of no benefit of the lottery is described. Does it keep order, maintain the social structure, encourage villagers to behave a certain way? The only clear statement in favor of continuing the lottery is Old Man Warner's insistence that ending the lottery will bring nothing but trouble. He equates removing the lottery with society regressing, going back to live in caves and nobody working anymore. Yet Old Man Warner's support of the lottery has no explanation other than the importance of tradition. In this way, the story captures the circular logic that gives tradition its strength. As with several other themes in the short story, Jackson uses a single concept to point to a universal idea about human beings. In this case, Jackson shows how traditions hold power over human beings simply by continuing to exist, and how these traditions resist critical thought or attempts at change. This is not an attack on all traditions or an argument that all traditions should be given up. but rather a reminder of the dangers of blindly following tradition simply because it is tradition, of letting a tradition guide one's actions regardless of its morality or usefulness. So these are the themes and issues raised in short story The Lottery. That's all from us for today. Thank you.